So, good day everyone. I am first reporting. So, for today, we will tackle about assessing learning in social studies. So, first we have the objectives. Internalize the relevance of assessment in the teaching and learning process. Second, differentiate formative and summative assessment. Third, identify the attributes of 21st century assessment. Plan for assessment strategies using the concept presented in this chapter. So, generally, most people associate assessment with testing, which basically is just a part of the entire assessment system. Next, in a nutshell, assessment is a process. A tool for decision making can be applied to both individual or group and is generated through product or performance. Next, assessment is a process of gathering information to come up with decision or intervention with young children. So, uh, example for me is a defined assessment as a process that is used by teachers to monitor the progress of learners in relation to the learning standard and the development of 21st century skills. Next is the National Council for the Social Studies is one of the leading advocate of social studies education. So, ito yung kumbaga parang branch siya ng psychology na sila ang mga nagtuturo ng tamang pakikitungo sa ibang tao and para din sa mga students na matutulungan silang intindihin yung ibang tao din. And kumbaga, it is considered as the study in which it teaches students how to socialize others. Next is we have they argue that social studies assessment methods should always be aligned with the goal of social studies, encompassing objectives and have more authentic tasks. So, the main purpose is to close the gap between where the learner is at the point in their in time to where they want to be. So next, the NCIS in 1994 recommended the following guidelines for assessment. So example for me is NCIS curriculum standards is provide a framework for professional deliberation and planning about what should occur in a social studies program in grades pre through K to 12. Next, assessment tool. Assessment tools shall be grounded on the goals of the curriculum, be a mechanism for improved curriculum and instruction, evaluate content and process, be applicable for diagnostic, prescriptive, instructional purposes, possess fairness to all learners. Next is assessing students' achievement shall be especially used to improve instruction, involve a variety of approaches and tools to measure knowledge, skills, and attitudes. So, example sa number 1, no? So, as a teacher, para kung gusto ka nga ang imong student is kanang ganahan maminaw sa imo. So, you need to use instructional nga makagain og potential sa imong learners. And number 2 is example no, while teacher knowledge is certainly a component of teacher professionalism, professional competence involves more than just knowledge and skills. Number three is be in line with the curricular objectives in the classroom experience. Example, this no, the teacher play a vital role in curriculum development as they bring their expertise, experience, and knowledge of their students to shape the curriculum. For the cumulative and sequential. Example, no, is it shall be the policy of the state to provide equal opportunity for all children to accessible and mandatory kindergarten education. Next, we have the national and local agencies shall support the capacitations of teachers in developing, selecting, and implementing assessment tools. Next, involve educators and other social studies specialists in crafting objectives, planning for instruction and assessment, and designing assessment instruments. Second, evaluate enduring effects of social studies education. So next, on the flip side, Kaufman 1991 identified common criticism on social studies assessment in the past. First, number one, the social studies test has failed to measure student understanding, application, appreciation, and most importantly, critical thinking. Number two, the open-ended types of tests, such as essays, were also questioned due to time constraints both in instruction and examination. Next, social studies assessment should therefore create feedback mechanism that reflect potential implications for the improvement of curriculum and instruction. Next, however, this could only happen if all the elements, content, instructional methodologies, strategies, and assessment techniques are aligned with its goals. So,
Characteristics of 21st century assessment. According to Cajigal and Mantuano 2014 identified the attributes of 21st century assessment. First, being responsive. Visible assessment works generate data that inform the curriculum and instruction. Responding to such assessment needs is thorough, for it incorporates best practices in all areas. So, one of the characteristics of a 21st century assessment must be a responsive. In short, teachers could adjust the instruction and educa- educational leaders also can consider additional educational opportunities to cater the needs of the school community. Next is being flexible. Curriculum design, lesson, and assessment require flexibility and resilience. With growing changes in the educational landscapes, assessment should not be a one-size-fits-all form of evaluation. This form of assessment best responds to the demands of teaching and learning environments. So, with the growing changes, it should one of the characteristics it should be flexible, since the students are generally diverse. Then the assessment must be flexible too. Third is integrated. Assessments must always be reflective of the learner's day-to-day life experiences. It is all about stimulating thinking, constructing meaning, and finding connection. To achieve this, it must offer opportunities for learners to consider their choices, identify alternative strategies, enhance earlier learnings, and use learnings in real life. So, in the 21st century, strategies must be integrated. So, we should not focus on only one strategy. Informative. The desired 21st century assessment must be clearly stated and explicitly taught where students are free to display their knowledge and skills. Learners must be exposed to learning opportunities and be able to build their own knowledge in a logical sequence. Therefore, the learning objectives up to the reporting of the grades must be aligned with with what is desired. So, informative. So, dapat students must be informed by their progress of the assessment conducted by the school. Next is multiple methods. In the 21st century, an assessment continuum that includes an array of differentiated strategies in the norm. Learners must creatively showcase their knowledge and skills through relevant projects, tasks, and performances. Processes and products of assessment must all be recognized and appreciated. So, in conducting an assessment, there should be multiple methods that we should consider or use in order to assess the needs of the students. Next is communicated. The communication of assessment data must be transparent and readily available for all stakeholders. So, so the learners must be time be all the time be given feedback about their own learning progress. So, ang parents also should know the progress of their students by through giving progress reports so that they will know the progress and achievements of their students. Technically sound. Accommodations and adjustments in assessments must always be readily available to meet the students' needs and uphold fairness. Students should communicate their learning in ways that are relevant and appropriate for them. To be reliable, assessment must be technically sound and precise so that teachers must be consistent in the administration and interpretation of data. So dapat ang assessment it should be aligned with the interpreted data. So last is being systematic. The 21st century assessment system is a microcosm of an entire system of comprehensive and well-aligned strategies that is inclusive and balanced. So it means being systematic. So it has a step-by-step process plans, or it could be fixed plan or aligned with the strategies used in teaching and learning in the learning process.
Good morning. Ngayon ay ako ang susunod na mag-uulat tungkol sa
assessing the formative assessment. So, what is formative assessment? Formative assessment is include both formal and informal process that teacher and student use to gather data for the purpose of identifying next steps in learning. Sa formative assessment daw ay napagtatasa ang parehong formal na proseso na ginagamit ng mga guro at mag-aaral upang mangolekta ng data para sa layunin. Nakilala ang mga susunod na hakbang sa mga pag-aaral nito. So, formative assessment is also the use of gathered information to adjust teaching and learning to maximize the development of the learners. Ang pangolekta ng mga informasyon raw ay upang ayusin ang pagtuturo at pag-aaral upang mamaksimum ang pag-unlad ng mga mag-aaral. In a nutshell, that makes formative assessment. Formative is the immediate usage of information to adjust teaching for maximum learning. Sa madaling sabi, kung ano raw ang gumagawa ng formatibong pagtatasa, mga panatibo ay agarang paggamit ng impormasyon upang ayusin ang pagtuturo para sa maximum na pag-aaral. Ang formative assessment answer the question. So, we are 5. First, what is not understand in the lesson? So, ano daw ang mga ano raw ang mga hindi wala na sabtan sa lesson? Ang kadua, what adjustment should I make to the instruction? Unsa daw ang kailangan i-adjust nga ma-make ang instruction sa mga student? Ang ikatulo, what are the strengths and weaknesses of each learner? Kailangan mo ring malaman kung ano ang mga strength and weaknesses imong mga learners or mga student nimo. Ang ikaapat, what misconceptions do I need to address? Unsa daw imo ang kailangan i-address sa imuhang pag-leksyon sa silid-aralan? Ang ikalima, are the student ready for feedback? If so, what feedback should I give? Kung ang student is ready na sa kanang feedback sa mga ilahang gipang answer na imuhang gipangutana sa ilaha, ready ba ang mga student to give a feedback to the teacher? Or unsa daw kailangan i-feedback sa student kadili sila masakitan or silang na sa pamaagi na maayon sa pagtubag or sa pag-feedback nimo sa student. So now, in the classroom, we assess our learners formally through quizzes, project, and performance. Sa silid-aralan daw ay nasusuri ang mag-aaral ng formal sa pamamagitan ng pagsusulit, proyekto or project at pagganap like sa mga sadula sa mga pinapagawa ng mga guro. Whatever instrument is used, one thing is apparent: it must of high quality so that it could yield accurate and exact information about the achievement of our learners. Sa anumang instrumento ang gamitin ng mga guro, isang bagay ay maliwanag na dapat itong ay mataas sa kalidad upang makapagbigay ito ng tumpak at eksaktong impormasyon na mga tungkol sa mga nakamit na mga mag-aaral. We assess informally using question, dialogues, observation, and anecdotal records. Sinusuri ng mga guro na hindi formal gamit ang mga katanungan o dialogo or obserbasyon at mga talaan na anekdotal o records. In the recent years, there have been arguments whether formative assessment is a process or an instrument. Sa mga nagdaang taon daw ay may mga argumento kung ang pagtatasa sa mga formasyon ay isang proseso o isang instrumento. Perhaps we could all agree that a well-designed tool, question, or any other activity is vital to formative assessment. Marahil ay maaring sumang-ayon tayo sa isang mahusay na disenyo o sa mga tool katulad ng tanong o ano pang aktibidad ay mahalaga sa pagtatasa ng pormasyon. Formative assessment can be used in all the parts of the lesson. No? Tanan daw nga formative assessment na need daw nga kanang magamit jud nimo siya ng mga parts nga gidiscuss kanina ni Duyag, ni Miss Duyag. It's a part of the lesson. Kailangan nimo siya i-apply to achieve, no, sa mga unsa in feedback sa mga student. In generally, a lesson consists of 3 parts. We have 3. First, before the lesson. Second, lesson proper. Ang third, after the lesson. So, kani ang mga 3 parts of the lesson consists. Ang formative assessment in each part serve a specific purpose. Ang formative assessment daw in each part nga katong gidiscuss kanina ay sa bawat bahagi natin lakay kanina ni Duyag, ni Miss Duyag ay nagsisilbi ng isang tiyak na layunin or specific purpose kapag ikaw ay gumawa ng kanang katulad nito, before the lesson, lesson proper, and after the lesson. Need mo siya if kailangan nimo kanang mga parts of formative assessment, if kanang wala siya ka idea, na siya kanang specific purpose kanang mga gipang discuss kanina sa mga each part of characteristic of the formative assessment. Nato yung mga idea nimo nga makuha dito kung saan nimo siya pagkuan sa mga student o pag-apply or pag-feedback or pag-gather sa ilaha. Kato nga mga parts is kanang makatabang sa imuha para makuha nimo ang mga student nga maayo ang kanilang kalabasan sa imuhang lesson. At yun lamang po ang aming report ngayong araw at maraming salamat sa pakikinig.